This is Tyler Mazur here on the East Texas Now Desk. Tyler, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Going very, very well. Welcome to the show. Is this your first time on the show?
I've been on with Kayla a few times,
Okay.
and then when Lisa was here, we tried some nasty cranch and stuff like that. So yeah, it wasn't very good.
Not very good at all. So to much happier discussions.
Yeah, for sure.
High school football.
That's right.
So what brings you to the desk?
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about a really big East Texas matchup that's going on Friday night.
Okay.
It's actually taking place in Longview. So if you're, I'm going to take these off because I actually can't hear them. So if you're in the Longview area, this is probably about as good as it's going to get, because after this, all of the games move to bigger stadiums.
Right.
They start to play in like the Star in Frisco and stuff like that. So if you got nothing to do on Friday night, this is the perfect time to get out and watch an amazing high school football game. Pleasant Grove is coming from Texarkana. They're going to be playing Gilmer at Lobo Stadium, 7 o'clock on Friday. And this is probably the most excited I've been for a matchup this season. And I went to some pretty good games. I went to a few Carthage games and enjoyed my time there. And Henderson and Van were also fun to watch. But these two teams are really good teams. Pleasant Grove they're ranked nationally 128 and in the state 28, and this is according to Max Preps. And then Gilmer is ranked 357th in the state, 55th nationally according to Max Preps. So both really, really good teams. And it's going to be a high-flying matchup. It's going to probably be a lot of scoring. I saw a stat earlier today from Hayden Henry, who works with the Longview News Journal, I believe.
Okay.
I think it's the paper there. Said combined 14 ball carriers with at least 100 yards. So both teams combined have at least, or there's 14 people with both teams combined that have at least 100 yards rushing.
Per person.
Per person, right. 20 combined different players with at least a rushing touchdown, and 14 combined with a receiving touchdown. So all kinds of athletes flying around, all kinds of points being scored. I have here that Pleasant Grove scores 44 points a game, and Gilmer scores 36 points a game. So both averaging pretty high amounts of points there. Pleasant Grove, I think, has the advantage here. They did play earlier this year. They're from the same district.
Okay.
Pleasant Grove won the regular season match. I think it was in week 9. They won it 37-24. That was a great game as well. But the only loss that Pleasant Grove has this year is to Carthage, 35-14, and we all know how good Carthage is and what they can do on the field.
Yeah,
so.
If your only loss is to Carthage, like that's okay. Yeah, we're fine with that.
Exactly. And another similar opponent that they had was Paris, and Paris confuses me because Paris ended up going 6-5. They lost in the first round of the playoffs. Went 6-5 this year, but Pleasant Grove played them in week 1. And the final score was 26-20, I want to say. So a close game there. And then Gilmer actually lost to Paris 37-20, and I think it was week 3.
Yeah.
So early on in the season, Paris was giving these teams some fits. So it'll be interesting to see, how the common opponent kind of comes through. And of course, they both played Carthage. And Gilmer actually lost to Carthage 24-15 in Carthage. So a closer loss than Pleasant Grove's was to Carthage. And then, of course, you have the two that played each other. Gilmer's had a pretty good season, though. They finished the regular season 7-3. Their 3 losses to Pleasant Grove, Carthage, and Paris, and they had some good wins with Van. They beat Van 41-21. They beat Newton, who at one point was in our red zone top 5, I think, maybe even the top 3 at some point.
Yeah.
They beat them 16-0, and they went and beat Farmersville 57-0 in the playoffs. And then last week in the playoffs, beat Waco Connolly, who finished their season undefeated and won their district. So Gilmer's picking up steam right now. Right. Not doing too bad in the playoffs. Of course, Pleasant Grove has rolled through the playoffs. They beat a pretty good Henderson team in the regular season. And then last week beat Sunnyvale 49-28. But I think it's going to be a good game, and some names to look out for. Pleasant Grove on the defensive side. They have 3 really talented defensive ends. They've got a 5-star in Landon Jackson. This is according to 24/7 Sports. Okay. And he is pretty much, everybody has offered him a scholarship. Right. He's 6'6", 240 pounds. Oof. Kid's long, he's mean, he's physical, and he can do just about everything. I've got it written down: 29 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 71 total tackles, 7 forced fumbles, and he's broken up 6 passes. So he's a defensive end that's able to rush the passer, make tackles on a running back, and he can drop back in coverage and make plays on the ball.
Is that career or just this year?
That's just the season. Oof. So he can do just about anything you need him to. And that's what makes him a 5-star. That's what was getting him all of these looks from the Alabamas and Clemson and all of these teams that offered him. And then you've got Marcus Boris on the other side of the ball. He's or on the other side of the defense. He's a 4-star defensive end as well. He's offered by just about everyone as well. I think on 24/7 Sports it says 16 teams, but I'm sure it's a heck of a lot more. I'm sure it's somewhere around 30. He's 6'4", 262, so a little bit shorter, a little bit heavier, just as talented.
Right. And
then they've got another guy. His name's Torrey Phillips, and these are all juniors, by the way, so they all have another year on their in their high school careers. He's a 3-star, and he's got Arkansas and Mississippi State listed as his teams that are interested in him or have offered him. He's 6'5", 270, so he's a really big kid.
Right.
So I'm excited to see how that happens. And they've got 2 running backs. Bruce Garrett, he's a 3-star. He's class of 2020, so he's a senior this year. He's going to BYU. He's a little bit undersized. He's 5'10", 190, so you'd like to see him maybe be around 215, 220.
Okay.
But extremely athletic kid. And then running back Nick Martin, he's also a 3-star. He's a junior this year. UTSA offer, I'm sure he has more than just UTSA. 5'11", 190, so about the same size as the other kid. But Pleasant Grove's got a ton of athletes that on the defensive side are a force to be reckoned with. They give up 17.6 points per game, so it's going to be tough for Gilmer to move the ball on them.
Right.
But Gilmer's got a couple of weapons. They've got a receiver who I think he's class of 2021. He's got a couple offers right now. I don't remember who exactly, and I didn't write it down. But they've got some weapons on offense. I think they're it's gonna be tough to move the ball, but I think they're gonna be able to move the ball against Pleasant Grove.
Right. So obviously you've done the research, you've done your homework, and you've had that first-hand view from the sidelines, shooting the games, which kind of is a different off-shot football too. It's a unique perspective from sitting in the stands, which both offer their different views of the game, but you get more in it. You can see more of just the granular aspects of playing football when you're there on the sidelines.
Sure.
So having been in that position all season long, 2 powerhouse teams, I've asked both Michael and Caleb all night long, what's your prediction on this one?
That's tough. See, I came here with all of these notes and everything prepared. I didn't even think of a final score. Well, I think Pleasant Grove is beatable. We see that Carthage, really good defensive football team, was able to hold them to just 14 points. So I think the key here is Gilmer's going to have to find something on defense to stop them. But I still think that Pleasant Grove just has too many athletes. I think they're just a little bit better than Gilmer. So I think they probably sneak away with a win here. We'll call it 35-32.
Okay,
We'll give it a close one. We'll call it close. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm so excited that I get to be there for it.
Okay, well, will you be shooting it or there as a spectator?
Yeah, I'll be shooting it. I'm going there to shoot. So.
I'll be here Friday night, and of course, we'll be here all night long Friday night. So by all means, give me a shout. We'll get you on FaceTime.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk all about it.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much, Tyler.
All right, man.
We'll talk to you soon.